Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching. And I would say over the last month since I was at Training Magazine's conference, I just did another Training Magazine webinar, and certainly some of our direct work with customers. And there's so many varying opinions of the value of coaching, how people perceive it, what's the purpose of coaching. Is it a training thing? It is an endeavor thing. Coaching is really a communication thing. If you're already talking to your employees, wouldn't you agree if leaders improve their ability to communicate at a fundamental level, it would improve the relationships with their employees? Of course it would. So let me start off with a sports analogy, and I'm kind of famous for these. And I think about sports. Think about you're the captain of a team. You're the coach of a team. If you're a leader and you're in charge of your team, you are the coach. You're the manager, you're the leader, you're the mentor, whatever you want to call yourself. And if you have a negative attitude, you cannot correct that in a conversation. That person has to practice having a positive attitude. If you have someone who's indecisive in decision making, don't just tell them, be confident. It doesn't work that way. And if you have someone who doesn't play well with others, just go up and tell them to be a better teammate. If that worked, we wouldn't have a coaching industry. So fundamentally, at the foundation of coaching that leaders, at least specifically leaders, need to understand is the number one reason that people quit today is their direct manager. It's not the training. It's not the curriculum. Yet, what do managers say at the end of the year? We need more training. No, you need to reinforce training. You're already communicating. You're already doing the end of the year review. And so what happens is we have these different vacillations of how people perceive coaching. Coaching is something that we do every single day because we communicate every single day, whether it's email, whether it's a decision we've made, whether it's a policy, whether it's a procedure, whether it's a mandate, whether it's a question. We communicate every single day. And so what happens is we tend to think of coaching as this in addition to what I'm already doing. Let's look at a couple charts that I think will hopefully get you thinking a little bit differently. And this is from the Gallup, recent Gallup, is that managers almost 60% of the time said that they're giving feedback and recognition. Direct reports are saying, no, they're not. They're only doing it 35%. Provides weekly feedback. Managers said, 50% of us said we do. No, 20% of the employees said it. So what does that teach us? What that teaches us is maybe we're not that as good at it as we think. 85% of people significantly lack self-awareness, according to Dr. Tasha Eurich. So what are we going to do? Just assume? And then here's the other thing. When people say, I'm so busy, my leaders don't have time to coach, please do not say that. Here's why. How do they interview replacements when somebody leaves? If they don't have time to coach, don't put it in that category. Be honest and say, we choose not to coach. There's a complete difference. And I think about another chart that I think will get people thinking differently. And let me get this caption out of the way, is that I think about, overall satisfaction. We've had the Great Recession. Now they're calling it the Great Detachment. Look at this. Overall satisfaction and intent to leave among U.S. employees. Look at that. 51% are watching or actively seeking a new job, according to Gallup, at the end of 2024. Extremely satisfied from 2014 to 2024 has dipped 10%. We're now down at 19%. If that does not scare people, it just should. And so when I think about some of the things that we need to do as leaders is we communicate every single day. Every single day we're in communication. Every single day we're trying to inspire and motivate people. And coaching is a skill. It's a choice. It is much like sports. We have to apply it and we have to practice it. Our employees who might struggle with teamwork, attitude, motivation, engagement, being a great teammate, becoming a future leader, all of that's going to require application and practice. So then we have to fundamentally ask ourselves, how many times has someone knocked on your door as a leader and said, boss, I'm stagnant, I'm complacent. Could you throw some uncomfortable change at me? God, we got to just get over this. Well, my people, we've got a lot on our plates. Everybody does. By having a lot on your plates and going above and beyond differentiates a person. Yet we spend so much time fighting what we're already doing, which is communication. So if you go up to someone with a negative attitude and say, Bob, your attitude sucks, cut it out. I've had enough. Do you honestly think that Bob in his mind is going, yeah, good point, boss. I didn't know it was that bad. No, Bob's sitting there saying, yep, you're right. You're right. In the back of his mind, he's saying, I can't believe he's talking to me this way. They'll never say it to you as a leader. Versus going up to saying, Bob, I know you want to become a future leader someday. And I think about you engaging with your teammates more professionally, plausibly, going above and beyond the call of duty, maybe even doing random acts of kindness. How do you think that might help you become a future leader? And how do you think the support of those people will help you become a leader? Now you've tied something together where he wants to go with your expectations. So then we have to ask ourselves, how many people can do what I just did? Now that sounds arrogant, yet how many leaders can have those conversations fluently? So coaching is about conversations, asking questions, inquiring, calling people into the office for the good stuff. It is a relentless, hourly, not daily, hourly pursuit to inspire, motivate, and challenge people to go to the next level. That's what coaching is. So let me give you my last analogy. If you have kids in youth sports, if you don't think coaching should work in the workplace, if you think it's just not plausible, go to your kid's youth sports coach and say, my kid doesn't practice. He or she only shows up for games. Would you do it? Why do we give the workplace such less attentiveness? If you want to become a leader, you're going to have to practice a lot of things. If you're struggling with feedback, you're going to have to practice getting feedback. If you're struggling with emotional intelligence, you're going to have to practice some of the components of emotional intelligence. If you're struggling with public speaking, you're probably going to have to practice public speaking. We've got to get over this multi-definition of coaching to make ourselves feel good about not doing it. The number one reason people quit is their direct manager. And I don't always think that's a fair statistic. I think leaders have a lot on their plate. So think about yourself being a coach. Think about your employees being coaches. Think about teaching your employees how to seek and accept feedback. Find out where they want to go with their careers, and everything will get better. Share your thoughts.